In this video, we're going to talk about Gunslinger and Zayana Hunt, a common foe. And these enemies unite. At least they were enemies before, but hey, now we'll see what happens later on. But this is a comic book review of Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger, issue number 8, brought to you by RatedComics. Let's get to it. So previously in the Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger makes an uneasy alliance with Zayana as they search for a common enemy. So we begin this issue with the monologue. Aristotle said that a common danger unites even the bitterest enemies. For Gunslinger, having Zayana riding alongside him to find and kill the man named Captain Lane was just the right kind of justice he was used to brandishing before he became what he is today. So now these two are horseback riding, looking for that foe. Gunslinger tells Zayana to stop. He'll scout for info on Lane. He asks her to stay there because it'll just complicate things. And she's like, okay, fine, I'll stay. So we go into this panel with these guys doing a little burial, but they're burying dead Brewsters, a dead Brewster family, and no one is even showing up. No visitors, no kin, not a soul. All right, indicating that nobody gives a damn what they're burying right now. So Gunslinger and Zayana show up to the funeral, show up to the memorial, if you will, the burial. So they're thinking if they're answering the call, and Gunslinger responds like, no, but is any military around? Captain Ryder? He's at the meet in town. But some advice, young man, her kind, that Rayana girl, she's not welcome in Danzig in town, so if you like, she can stay at the church until your business is concluded, but for a donation. And Zayana's like, nah, not gonna happen, alright? So Gunslinger agrees, but he notices that all the burials have baby, the word baby, on the tombstone, which is very odd. So they ride away, they take note of that, and the guy in the suit's like, what do you think? They ain't never seen like that before, but they got a bad feeling about the two. So in town, Gunslinger Spawn tells Zayana to stay here, but she tells him she's going to pick up some supplies, and Gunslinger Spawn tells Zayana to stay out of trouble, kind of giving a little foreshadowing what's going to happen later. So the guy in the front desk welcomes Gunslinger Spawn, and he asks how he may be of service. So Gunslinger Spawn asks him, I'm looking for Captain Ryder. Well, he resides here. Is he expecting you? And Gunslinger's like, I'm not going to answer that, but I'm going to ask you which room he's in. So the front desk guy is like, I'm sure he won't mind the company. He's in room 2D. Gunslinger Spawn goes up, asks the madam, if you will, where is Ryder? He's like, he's passed out as usual. You know what happens after post-nut clarity? We need a post-nut nap. Gunslinger Spawn finds him and says, are you Captain Ryder? He's like, I'm no captain anymore. Leave me alone. This nut was good. And Gunslinger tells him, I'll leave, but I've got questions. I'm looking for Captain Lane. And this guy is like, what the heck are you supposed to be? Why should I tell you anything about that madman? Because, says Gunslinger, I'm fixing to kill him. Okay, says Captain Ryder. You ever heard the saying, rotten fruit falls on its own eventually? But if you want to know, fine. Maybe downstairs at the bar in 15 minutes, I'll tell you everything I know. But Gunslinger has seen this type many before, and many times. Once a proud soldier with a cause, now reduced to a lost soul battling his demons with a bottle. The peripheral scars of war are the easiest to shield from others, but the true damage done is easily apparent to others with similar experiences. There's no leaving his past behind. This madman's sad reality is that his memories have made a home in his heart, and for better or for worse, he continues to take comfort in them, even as they tear him apart, because with each passing bottle, he gets angrier and more volatile. Now, inside the store where Zayana's trying to buy some supplies, you got this Brewster brother over here like, hey Mike, talking to the guy in the counter, how much for that squaw over there? Guy in the front's like, come on Vic, quit kidding around, now let a boy have some fun. And she's looking over here like, come on, y'all don't want the smoke. And Vic tells the girl, I can buy you that pen if you like, young lady. I'm sure we could work out a trade or something. She's like, no, I have my own currency. I will ask that you remove your hand from my soldier, please. And she tells him, please, like, Vic ain't having it. Who taught you to speak so pretty? Someone in town own you? I know all the folks around here. Maybe one of the Fanny's new girls, huh? He's over here hiding his eyes on her. You must be the new whore that just came in. Thought you looked a little too clean. Girl, let me rattle you up. And she's like, I'm warning you, move your hand or I'll take it off myself. Last chance. And Vic is like, look at that. She thinks she cute saying all that. She thinks she got a say in the matter. Talk about knowing your place. She slices his hand clean off. And they have to run out the door and all that. And he's like, argh! She cut off my hand. She took my hand. And she's like, okay, take it back. You know I don't want it no more. But one guy takes the pan, cracks her upside the head, and he's like, take her to the barn, send Benny to get the doc, tie her up real good. We're gonna be able to get some payback on this one. We don't know what they're gonna do. So Gunslinger Spawn tells his girl to, he doesn't need anything else. He just wants to drink. But when he drinks, we get to see his true form right there as he drinks. And Captain Ryder's like, mask like that, most men wear to hide something rotten inside, but you, seems like you're wearing that mask to spare people their appetite. They sure did a number on you. Lane, says Gunslinger Spawn, he wants to get down to business. Let me guess, says Ryder, Lane is the one that carved you up? No, worse. Ryder's like, you must be some kind of gunslinger, huh? Looking to put a bullet in a madman? Is that how it's gonna go? That's how to go. Where is he? And Ryder's like, Lane don't ride alone. He's got more than 20 men, all sworn to him. Men who find joy in killing. Men who've turned it into a fine art. Lane's been on a rampage since the war, obsessed with killing Indians, and no lawman cared enough to stop him. Hell, I'll wager they prefer to look the other way. But my advice, whatever quarrel you got with him, leave it alone, leave it in the dust, and just go on with your life, alright? No, says Gunslinger Spawn, where can I find him? So he tries to give him a piece of advice, like, I see that it's personal, but unless you got an army in your back pocket, I don't see much future in you. Gunslinger Spawn ain't having it. He pulls out his gun, he's like, fine. He's heading northwest, 4 days out, town called Vulgate. Captain Ryder gave him the information. So now Captain Ryder is told by one of his guys that Vic Brewster had a run-in with a woman at the general store. Brothers dragged her off to the stable for payback. Bad payback. I ain't a soldier anymore. It ain't my problem, says Ryder. The boy said she's an Indian. You'll know what they'll do to her. And Gunslinger Spawn's like, Indian? She's with me. They go in pursuit. And Ryder's like, is she your lady? No, but we're looking for a common mofo. So she is my girl. And I gotta get her back. So Ryder tells him, follow me. I know where they keep her at. So they go to the barn. 3 men out front. No idea how many are inside. How many brothers does this Brewster have, says Gunslinger Spawn. 5 total. 1 I put in the ground, 1 in the sheriff's cell for his own protection, and my guess the other 2 are inside since none of those men is a Brewster. Is she that important to you? Gunslinger Spawn just answers 1-word answer. Yes. So we see them inside and we see an idea of what they're doing to her. And yeah, even though he has no hands to throw at her, he's going to make sure he's going to use the other hand to throw at her. So the doc is like, please, you need to stop. You've lost too much blood, telling Vic about that. And Vic ain't trying to hear that. He just wants to go to work on her now. And he's going to do what he's going to do to her. But the girl taking those licks like that, she's telling them, I'm going to rip out your heart and watch it burn. And they're like, oh, hell no. What the hell did you just say to me? But this guy pushes Vic aside, like, before you bust her up, how about letting your brother have a taste? You know, Doc's not wrong, though. Look at your hand. And I'm feeling kind of rizzy right now. So Vic is like, I am feeling kind of lightheaded, but whatever you do, do not kill her. That's my job. Oh, I ain't gonna kill her. I'm just gonna have a little fun. She spits at him and calls him pig. And this guy's like, okay, sweetheart, that'll come in handy later. So Ryder's like, we need a plan. And Gunslinger Spawn's like, we ain't got no time for no damn plan. We shoot first, plan it out later. They shoot in and they made him look. But by the time they look, they're on the ground look. Alright, so good luck with all that. Gunslinger Spawn is going to work on them, shooting everybody inside the barn. He goes up to Zayana. You alright? Take the doctor with you. Leave me his bag. You sure, says Gunslinger? And one of the Brewster brothers is like, no, you can't leave us with her. No, and Gunslinger Spawn's like, man, shut your damn mouth. So Gunslinger Spawn stands quietly as the tortured scream echoes throughout the valley around them, troubled by the fact that they are having a calming effect on him. He wonders what her gods must think of her actions, but that thought ends abruptly as the last scream. She walks outside, burns the barn, and she tells them to come. Very reminiscent of what happened in her village in the previous issue. So as they go and kind of clean themselves off in the water, Zayana asks Gunslinger Spawn, Lane, are we still looking for Captain Lane? Like, where is he at? And Gunslinger's Spawn, before you can even say anything, before you can even call her name, you can tell there's a typo in her name. Ryder is like, I'll help you both, but we'll need numbers, professionals if possible. Hard to find around here with the missing children thing going around. And Gunslinger's Spawn like, what? The mass grave I saw, that's where the missing children are. Everyone stay where you're at, says Sheriff Behan. Put your hands up. You are all under arrest. And that is the end of Enemies United. Gunslinger and Zayana Hunt, a common enemy. That is the end of Deadly Tales of Gunslinger Spawn, issue number 8. What you guys think of this comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also link in the description if you wish to add this comic book and any of our other limited print rated comic exclusives to add to your comic book collection. Support the art, support the industry. Hey, this was definitely a fun read, and the story definitely flowed, and I'm looking forward to what's next with the issue. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching. Till the next upload.